Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2. It's a game with many variants and unique characters, the four main of these consisting of Fire, Ice, Electric and Toxic. Each of these classes obviously bring characters to the table to try, some are better and some are worse. And my new mini-series I have brought today shall hopefully give you all a better understanding into who is the top of their respective group and who is downright shit. So we start with Fire today, and if you enjoy, remember to check out my other videos I have posted and will post in the future. I think, however, before we get started, I should address what makes a good Fire character. Well, firstly, a good Fire character needs their gimmick to be useful, because if a really good character has fire damage, it becomes unnecessary. Secondly, it needs to be easy to get tick damage from the fire. Obviously, the fire's gimmick is that you shoot something and then even when you're not hitting it, the fire will burn the character over time. For example, the Centurion's weapon is easy to get fire damage from as his weapon is accurate, whereas for Fire Chomper it is much harder. And finally, does having fire damage really impact their raw damage? Because if it does, then they are marked down. But without further ado, and with all that out of the way, let's begin. In 12th place, and unsurprisingly, we have the Fire Chomper. His lackluster damage and poor ability to get the fire from him really stuffs it for himself, if I'm honest. His primary hits 8 damage over a period of a second, and with the tick damage of fire being an extra 5 damage over 5 seconds, which is an extra 25 damage, this is not enough to kill the majority of zombies. Not only that, if you couple it with the fact that you have to be right in their face just to be able to get the fire damage activated, you can see why he's bottom of the list. The only bright side is that if you tap the shoot button instead of holding it, the 8 damage and 5 tick damage appear more frequently. Besides from that, you can't really make anything work from this character. This clip here is a good example. I had to run away from an Arctic trooper who ended up killing me because he got on the roof and there's nothing that I could have done. Obviously, I know that's not an example of his fire, it's an example of how limited the Chomper is, but it's another criticism that I will point out. I found myself in this game losing fights that would have been a breeze with some later characters we have down the line. The majority of my kills this game were spikeweeds and goops, not his actual gimmick of fire. He unfortunately ticks 0 of the 3 qualifications needed to be classified as a good fire character, which is a shame because I'm an advocate for the Chomper Nation. I think they're really cool, and at least he looks cool as fuck. Like, much better than that bloody imp we have coming up. But yeah, 12th place, Chomper. Let's move on to number 11. Sitting down in 11th place now is perhaps the most pointless character in the entirety of the franchise, if I'm honest, and it's the Fire Rose. This character is immediately outshadowed by pretty much every Rose there is, never mind the other fire characters there are. And what annoys me about this character is she isn't even awful. Like, her potential is the only thing that bothers me about this character, because it was enough to see her in the top band of characters if she was properly tended for by PopCap. Instead, she got a slow fire rate, causing her tick damage to be harder to obtain, which was one of the 3 things which made a fire character good. Is if it was easy to obtain their tick damage, which it isn't. And if you don't have homing on her, which I believe you get at advanced level 9, it becomes hard to hit absolutely anything. The weapon has 3 modes, and these are tap fire, short hold, and long hold. The tap fire does 5 damage to the enemy on top of the 5 tick damage that you get, which is 10 damage. The short hold deals 15 damage, and her long hold deals 50 damage. Unfortunately, this is a big thing for me, her tick damage does not change with the charges. It would be a big bonus points if she did, but no matter if you hit them with tap fire, short hold or long hold, it is always 5 damage over 5 seconds, which I think it is for every fire character, if I'm honest. If she shot a little bit faster, and her tick damage increased with her charge attacks, I believed she would have a genuine case for being one of the best roses, rivaling the likes of Druid, but for now, she sits in 11th place. Now let's move on to number 10. 11th place seems our first zombie into the mix, as we have Captain Flameface. All in all, he's another irrelevant character, and I don't actually have too much to say. Like, he's not bad. His weapon is accurate, and it's able to get the desired effect easily, as long as your aim isn't completely fucked, which, to be fair, mine is, more days than not. And his damage isn't bad at all either. You see, he has two guns, a sniper, a shotgun, and the sniper deals 20 damage with a tick damage 4 over 5 seconds, which is less than the usual 5. I know I made a comment saying I think 5 is the usual, but some of them it's 4, and Flameface is one of those. And the shotgun deals 25 damage along with the 4 tick damage as well, it doesn't change from 4. This isn't bad damage, and the shotgun deals spread damage, meaning multiple people can become burned with one shot. My issue with these is that it's very much like the Fire Chomper, where the shotgun needs to be dealt in very close quarters, and the sniper is obviously limited if you're not in a long range map. Saying that, that's less to do with the fire itself, but it does mean that the fire can be somewhat meaningless at times. But overall, he's not a bad character, just outclassed, and there's not much to say for him. So with that, it's time to move on to number 10. 10th place is a character held close to my heart, the paleontologist. I love the scientists as a class, and I think this guy is very, very fun to play. Unfortunately, however, for a scientist, he's probably the worst. His gun deals a whopping 15 damage. Bear in mind, the regular scientist can deal around 70, so it's a massive decrease which the fire damage nowhere near covers for. It's 15 add 25 fire damage, that only gets you to 40. His gun does deal the regular 5 tick damage instead of 4, which is a bonus. It's over Captain Flamefaces, and I found this was the point where the fire really started to work out, as I was getting kills after dying or if they went into hiding. This was also the point in the video where it was proven that fire damage can be extremely beneficial when in the right hands. And this character would be so much higher if his raw damage was a little higher and a little better, so his fire damage would be even more beneficial. But he's a good character in my opinion, and he's overhated. But with that being said, he's only in 10th place. So it's time to see who was given the number 9 spot. 9th place is given to the fire characters, because he does his job and he does it good, and the fire helps him out massively. His raw damage isn't absolutely slashed like some other characters, so his primary can get the job done quickly, and the fire damage is just that bonus that's there to ensure kills that you might not get otherwise. I saw a lot of people die to my fire damage, perhaps more than from a direct shot, leading me to believe the fire damage is necessary and useful in many aspects. One slight issue is that it's hard to hit people from close range, so it's harder to burn them, but it's very easy at long range because he is a sniper. And I would rather have a fire citron or like a fire super brains rather than fire cactus, but that's just how like the cookie crumbles, unfortunately, so there's not a lot that can be done for that. And this experiment has really opened my eyes to the fact that the fire variant only really has 2 bad characters, that being the Chomper and the Rose, and from this point on, they all get really, really good. And I was tempted to put this guy 8th, and I think they are interchangeable, but the next character I think has a little more pizzazz with his fire. 8th place is probably my least favourite character on the list. Not because he's awful, but because I can't use him and I despise imps. Lil Drake is known among the community as the 2nd worst imp with the worst mech. Only Pylon takes the reins, being the worst imp in most people's eyes. And yes, I will include the mech in this rating, as that also deals with fire damage, just like the primary. Lil Drake's primary, with the damage upgrade mind you, hits a whopping 6 damage.
What a load of old shit!
Or, in this clip here, you see he was hitting 4. That is unforgivable. His damage is affected and his fire rate is slower than the regular imps, and it has severe bullet drop off. That makes it hard to hit things. His mech is the thing that saves him. It deals 13 damage per half second with the fire bonus, and it has 2 abilities. One breathes out a wall of fire, and the other one sends the mech barreling towards its enemy, as shown here. These are really good, although limited by his chomp-out capabilities due to only being close range, but for an overall, he's good, sure, but he's tedious. And I know I've probably said this in previous videos, but I just despise the imps. I dislike the rose variant. I don't like the imps. And this guy's no exception. In fact, you know what, I just want to move on. Who did I put in 7th place? Well, 7th place is held by a character who used to be in the top 10 characters in the entire game at launch. Barbecue Corn is practically foot soldier if he had fire damage. And that sounds absolutely absurd. Absurd. Whoops. But unfortunately his damage does not comply with this analogy at all. The Barbecue Corn hits a whole 3 damage. 4 for a critical. That's even less than Lil Drake. And I know his gun shoots fast, I know his gun is very accurate, but the fact his damage is that low is a problem. It's quick and easy to ignite someone, sure, but you'll find yourself getting the jump on someone and still dying, because the health simply overwhelms the lackluster attack damage. I found him easy to use on the plus side, which cannot be said for Lil Drake, and I must say I think him getting Lunar Landing for a test run was a shame, because that's definitely not his area of expertise. He played a lot better the next round. Maybe overhated and not bad, but only good enough to get him into 7th. Let's see who's number 6. 6th place is given to the Centurion, and to be honest, I thought he'd be one of the worst. Never mind just missing out on the top 5. His rep is kind of tarnished by that whole
"The Centurion isn't all that good"
meme thing, but he's actually decent. As previously stated, his gun is extremely accurate with no drop-off, and his bullets are fast, so getting the fire effect is incredibly straightforward. And his damage isn't all that bad either. 14 damage at 5, 19 damage a second. And even though his gun takes around half a second between shots, this can definitely work out well. It was kind of raps that he was a soldier though, because in the eyes of many he's viewed as the worst soldier, despite maybe General Supremo for unrelated reasonings. We don't need to get into that because he's not a fight character. Definitely worth a go if you haven't tried him already yet, which the game is about 10 years old. And I got a nutty clip here where I just mowed through 10 people. This guy proved to me that he can hold his own even when it comes to crowd control, which is very surprising. He's very overlooked and he's very good, and that's all that can really be said for him. So, without further ado, it's time to move on into the home stretch, the final lot of characters. Or 5 characters at least. And we start here with number 5. 5th place is where we start to come into the top characters, and it starts with the Fireflower. Not only does she have a cool-ass alliterate name, but she's a solid guy all round. She shoots very quickly with no drop-off and a good shot power, hitting 6-7 damage with 5 for fire. The fact she's a sunflower too is just amazing, because the fact she can heal herself whilst chipping away fire damage at you just makes her a nuisance to play against, but solid as fuck when you're playing her yourself. Like, for example, for one of the matches I hooked up with a metal pedal, and I'll tell you now, I was practically immortal. I mean, it should be banned that a character this good and this annoying should be able to regenerate herself. The stock variant only hits a couple extra damage from her too, so her damage isn't even hindered that much by the fire. I mean, come on. And the fact that there are 4 better characters in my opinion just shows how solid the element of fire actually is in this game. Try her out. She's good. 100%. But I'll tell you why number 4 is even better. The Fire Pea Shooter holds the reins of being better than the Fireflower, in my opinion at least, for some fairly simple reasons. And those are Splash, Splash, and Splash. If you do not understand how useful Splash is for a fire character, all you need to know is it makes them some of the best crowd control characters in the entire game. This piece of excrement can bounce high into the sky whilst pummeling you with fireballs, which hurt. I mean, 30 damage kinda hurt. It's not hard to get a direct impact if you're experienced, I'll say that, as his bullets travel fairly slow, but you don't even need a direct impact to get the fire because the splash is so generous, which just makes it so easy to get the fire damage activated, which, remember, was one of the key components of being a good fire character in general, when I said that right at the start of the video. Long range does see a damage drop off, but only from 30 to like 21, so the decrease isn't crippling, and as a pea shooter you don't want to be fighting long range anyways. So he's good. He's actually amazing, but narrowly misses out on the top 3. And I'll tell you who number 3 is, and you won't be surprised. The bronze medal is given to the welder, and if you haven't figured out why he's the third best character, it's for the exact same reason as the fire pea shooter. His splash is ridiculous, and he hits the exact same amount of damage as the fire pea. 25 plus 5, that is. They are literal carbon copies of each other. The only reason he's above the fire pea is because somebody had to be third. I don't think his splash damage is much different than the fire peas either, but I do think it hits a little more, as the fire pea only hits 6, and I think the welder hits 10. So the differences are literally marginal, but it's enough to see welder entering third place. And much like Captain Flameface, there's not much to say about this fella either, because all points of interest with this guy, all the goods and bads, have been covered with number 4. So it's only best if right about now we move on to the silver medalist. Numero 2 belongs to the cricket star, and many people have gone to war over the heavens and earth about whether this guy's the best all-star there is or not. To me personally, goalie star takes that medal, but this guy can't be overlooked. He's seriously good. Quick fire rate, 7 plus 5 damage, a weapon that's relatively easy to aim. Can be a struggle at far range, but he tends to use an all-star close-up anyways. And his extra hit points allow him to tank shots whilst hitting the enemy. And I know this is more to do with his health, less to do with, say, his fire, but it indirectly helps the fire, as it allows the fire to work better and making it more common to kill enemies, with the fact that if they run away due to the idea that you're able to hit them more frequently. Obviously, this makes the fire deal more damage. Also, as an FYI, if this guy had splash and just a little less bullet drop off, he'd be first. There's no doubt about that, but for now he sits comfortably in second place, and he can't have too many complaints about that. I'm not sure how many people, when they started watching this video, thought that this guy was going to be second, but that just leaves one character, and you probably would have been able to guess who it was by the start. But let's see who the last guy on the list is. He's big, he's ugly, and he's my choice for first. Torchwood himself is an absolute unit, and here's the thing, he's somewhat overrated. It's not his fault. His height and health do make him a big target, but he gets bundled and trampled on before he can actually do anything somewhat significant. Also, his regular shots don't deal in fire, they just hit a standard 8 damage. His absolutely overpowered and cracked abilities save himself massively though. And let's start from the left, okay? Blazing Blast deals a 5-second barrage of fire, dealing 15 damage per half second, right? That's 150 damage. With the additional fire damage on top. This is close range, but he has so much health he can literally walk up to anyone and press it. There is shag all they can do. It insta-kills 90% of zombies. The only thing that it won't kill is a Super Brains or an All-Star, but that leaves them at like 10 damage. That's just insane. Smouldering Madness is in the middle, and that shoots bullets at an incomprehensible speed, dealing 6 plus 5 damage per iota of a second, mowing down literally any faithful zombie that stands within its path. And do not get me started on the Leaf Shield. This motherfucker turns you invincible for a set period of time, allowing you to wreak havoc to whatever unfortunate civilians into your eye. He's the best. He's number 1. He's gold medal. Not much more to be said. And with that, the list has been concluded. This video took a lot longer to produce than any other video. Maybe that Rocket League one rivaled it, but this video has taken weeks. And the main reason for that, probably the only reason for that, is I had to write a script. I've never done that before in any video ever. And I've only been able to work on this video for half an hour a day, maybe 20 minutes a day, because I've been busy. Right? After GCSEs, I thought I'd have a lot of free time, but they're done, and I've had more free time the past few days, and I have just been sweating it out. I mean, to run it through with you, I spent over 2 hours alone just getting the footage for this, and then I had to watch through those 2 hours, splice it into a half an hour video, 25 minutes, depending if I splice down any more by the time this video goes out. I've done a lot of work on this. I've done a lot of tender and a lot of care for this video. And with that, I would like to also apologise for my absence. I've spent 75 days, I forgot the number then, 75 days without uploading. Like, my last one was a bug snatch stream. My reasoning for that was GCSEs that was spanned over 6 weeks. That is not 75 days. I do, I do want to stress that I have just been busy. I want to apologise, and I want to say I will be getting back to normal videos. Maybe not so much projects like this, because this took a long time, and I didn't realise the amount of time I didn't have. But I don't have a lot of time. Videos that I can record and edit and upload in a day, 2 days, you will see a lot more frequently than videos like this. But if you do like this video, these type of videos, I can make these more normal. I just need feedback, but until I get that feedback, I'll probably just revert back to doing my standard type of videos. It is too hot to be wearing a hoodie. It is like 30 degrees. I do not know what I'm doing. I apologise to you. I apologise to everybody. I hope you did enjoy this video. It was quite a different video. It was quite a strange video, but I would like to. I can't remember the name. I got this video idea from some YouTuber. He did a video. It was called "Which Garden Warfare 2 Element is the Best?" I can't remember the name of the guy. I'll try find it and put it on screen for you now. But I just got me thinking, instead of doing the elements themselves, how about I do a tier list of all the characters in the element? I thought that was original, I thought that was quite a good idea, and I'm quite happy with how the video's turned out. I will do some final touches before the video goes out. But thank you ever so much for watching. It has been a pleasure to work on this video. I need this fan, I need to take this hoodie off, I need to strip naked, I am fucking sweltering. See you later.